Today I'm going to show you how to fix a loose bathroom floor tile. I say a loose one. This one's the worst one. You can see where all the grout's gone there. There's a chance I might have to lift quite a few and then hopefully I'll stick them back down. I don't want to re-tile the whole bathroom because I'd have to rip that out. I'd have to rip that out. I can't get these tiles again because they're obviously really old. That means that I would have to re-tile the whole lot and pull the bath out. I didn't tile this bathroom. I assume it's on a ply subfloor, but I did re-grout this area at least a couple of years ago because it was missing more grout. It's held up okay-ish up until now, but it just needs sorting out properly. I might need to take the grout out first, but I'm just going to have a look with this sucker to see if I can just lift it. Ready? Jesus Christ. Okay, that come up quite easy. This one is lifted as well. Nice back butter in there. Whether this one, yeah, that one's gone. I'm going to have to take that trim off. See, the trouble is if I break any of these tiles, that's it. I have to rip the whole bathroom out pretty much, which isn't something I want to do. I haven't got time for that. That tile is underneath this. This door architrave has been cut short and then that pit gone in afterwards. I think I best take this off quickly. It's like a can of worms, isn't it? There's a fucking wire behind that. What the fuck? There's a big bloody hole there. Right, I've got one cracked tile. That's on the edge. I might get away with that. I mean, they're not fucking, none of them stuck down, are they? Oh, God. Oh, what a fucking disaster. Okay, that's where I'm at. So from one loose tile to maybe 4 to all of them. I mean, I'll tell you what, obviously, right, he's not back-butted these tiles, so they've not stuck down like perfectly. So these were the ones that are especially loose, and you can see the grid pattern there. This one, he hasn't even collapsed the things there. I know, obviously, I've had the same issue in the kitchen as well. I've relaid a cardine floor on that and plied it over, but it was a similar story with the tiles. I doubt he's used a flexible adhesive. The screws in the actual ply, that looks like 18mm, there's not enough of them. The first place it goes is on the joints. And look at this big fucking hole. He's got some wires there. Right. It's going to be rented for the next 8 years or so. Is it worth replacing that floor? This is what it comes down to, like landlords. That's why they bodge everything, because it's just too much aggro. I did bring a bag of adhesive. I've got an S1. In an ideal world, I would get S2. I just didn't have time. Not many people stock it like off the shelf. S2 is more flexible than S1. I just thought that I was going to be doing 1 or 2 tiles. I didn't bring my paddle to mix up my gear. I've cracked one tile, but might get away with that. Let's try and clean up this floor first of all, and then I can make a decision. The thing is, obviously, if I vibrate this off, then I might disturb them tiles. Let's see how I get on. Whether I'm replacing the whole floor or just half of it, I need to get these tile adhesives up. I've tried this. This is my multi-tool. That's like scrape a bit. That doesn't really work. I know that using my hammer drill with this type of bit, that does work. I use that in the kitchen, but it's a bit aggressive for this, and if I vibrate the floor too much, it might lift the other tiles, and if I do decide to just relay the ones I've pulled up, that's no good. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go with one of my cheap chisels. I say cheap chisels, I've only got cheap ones, so I'm just going to ruin this and just crack on. Okay, this is how far I've done that bit. Just needs a little bit of a tidy up, and I need to tackle this bit, but it is a bit late now. So I'm going to stop banging on the floor because I don't want to upset the neighbours. I wasn't intending for this to even happen in the first place. I was meant to like whack this out, pull up one or two tiles, tidy it up. I've got rapid set adhesive, get it back down. I would have grout it tonight, and then tomorrow I was supposed to be going back. But obviously that's not really happening, so I'll have to dedicate maybe another day and a half to this, possibly, and just carry on. Every fibre of my being wants to just rip the whole lot out and start again, but it's just not practical. I've got to finish a whole bloody house, haven't I? Not do this. So I think I'm going to stop with the floor. I'm going to tidy these tiles up. I've got like a little bit of grout on the side and stuff. Like if I get this off, reuse these tiles. Lucky enough, there's hardly any grout on the back of these, so hopefully I won't break any more. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, that took me absolutely ages. All the adhesive is off though. So I used my chisel, and then I had this scraper, and I just got the last of it there. And then for the tiles, there was a little bit of adhesive still on it and a little bit of grout. I had to use the angle grinder to get the last of that off. I used the diamond bit for that. Now we come into this little missing section. Now I don't have any 18mm ply, but I do have 11mm ply, and I had a little tiny bit of 5.5mm ply. So I've got this. So I will patch that in there. Now, this is what you shouldn't do, because you've got a piece there, you've got a piece here. That is a separate piece over there. This piece is a separate piece, and for some reason that it runs that way. So it's just like a patchwork. If you're tiling your floor and you're plying it, do it in big, massive pieces. Don't do what this fucking knobhead's done. And I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see this, but this floor, it moves, it flexes. Can you see that or not? So yeah, if you tile in your floor, make sure it's solid. Don't let it do that kind of stuff. This probably ain't going to do much, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to slip it in there, and then I'll screw it here. I'll screw it there before I put that on. So in an ideal world, I would have got the S2 tile adhesive now, because that allows flex up to 5mm. S1 is 2.5mm. We're just going to have to go with it. It's just going to have to do, because I haven't got time to do the whole bathroom. It's not practical. Right, I'm going to whack this corner bit in then, and then I need to put a load more screws everywhere else. It's 18mm ply, and then we've got some kind of flooring underneath, so I've got 30mm screws. Right, I've used up all of my screws. I put in more, but I haven't got enough. Rani perimeters, 100mm spacings. And then ideally I would have been putting 150mm at max, most 200mm spacings in between the other ones, but I'll just have to go with this. And I'm going to be extra cautious because I've already got it. I'm just going to put down some SPR and that will seal in any dust. And then I'll wait for this to get a little bit tacky before I start tiling. I've just flicked it on the fucking tile. I've put this off long enough and now it's time to start tiling. Now I'd like to think I'm quite good at tiling, but I'm out of practice. I don't do it often and this is going to be quite challenging. I only brought an 8mm notch trowel because this is the absolute minimum that you would want to use on an actual floor, but I can see from down here he's used the 6mm notch trowel. So I need to match the bed depth on this to that, otherwise there'll be too much slippage going from either one. Plus I want a back butter. See, if I back butter the tiles, then I'll get proper contact. So I'm going to have to lean this over more than I would normally. So normally you'd go about 45. I'm going to have to lean it right down. Overall, I want a bed depth about 3mm, but that's only on this floor. I'd get a proper big chunky notch trowel if I was doing the floor, but I'm just gonna have to go with it. Plus I didn't bring any tile spacers. This is rapid set, so I only get what, 20 minutes to work with it. I've only got a little bucket. I didn't bring my big bucket with the paddle, so I have to mix it up by hand, lay it, make sure everything's like gapped, correct depth. If you've seen me tile before, you know that I like to mix up my adhesive, scoop it with a bucket trowel, and you hold it like sideways, and it needs to drop on 3, and then you've got the right consistency. I think I'm going to mix this up and let it drop on 2, so it's going to be runnier, so I've got more of a chance of getting the bed depth that I require for this particular application. Wish me luck. Okay. It looks all right. Let's go time lapse. Not too bad, not too bad. There is a bit of a big gap down that edge. I mean, it was like that originally, but I reckon I could have probably moved it another mil. It's kind of like, I mean, can you see? It's close enough. I should have maybe shifted that a little bit more, but I just had to go with it because it was rapid set. Putting down the SBR gave me a little bit more time. This took me an hour, basically. You kind of can't move it after each batch you want to work with, say 20 minutes. I'm just going to have to leave it there. It's a good enough job. The tile's not loose now. The grout that I'm going to put in tomorrow morning, first thing, shouldn't come out. So I think I'm going to start editing this now. So tomorrow it will be out and you'll be watching it tomorrow as well, which is Thursday, hopefully anyway, unless you're watching later on. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you are, regardless. I've got 2 others that I'm editing at the moment. One's a bit longer, so that's going to take a little bit longer. I've just seen, look at this. I've got a daub on the wall. Right, I'll see you tomorrow. Always feels weird walking on tiles that you've just laid. Yeah, let's talk about tile lippage. So, I mean, I'm pretty good. I'm less than like half a mil on there. So I done all right over here, but then I was getting worse as I was carrying on. So this one, that is a millimetre lippage just there. So that's a millimetre packer. That is a flat transition across there. But from this tile to that tile, there's minimal lippage. And then from the original tiles, this one to that one, that is a millimetre lippage. So what was I meant to do? Was I meant to match it to that one or match it to this one? Lippage! But there's no lippage that's more than 1 millimetre, and apparently that's within British standards of tolerances. Any grout lines up to 6 mil, you can have lippage of 1 mil. Ideally, you'd have none. It looks worse than it is. Once you grout, you kind of get away with it a bit more. I've never actually used a tile leveling system, so if anyone's got any that they recommend, obviously I'm going to be doing a load of tile in the future. I'll probably use it and not just wing it. Gonna go for my grout now. I've still got the Mapire flexible warm floor grout that I used last time. I'm just gonna use this again. It doesn't seem to have the same classifications as tile adhesive in terms of like S1, S2. The deflection on this now at the doorway, I reckon I've got it less than 2 mil, if not only 1 mil. I'm assuming that this will be fine. The actual adhesive should be fine. So if the grout goes before the adhesive, that's fine, because you can just, it's easier to re-grout than it is to re-tile, eh? You mix it up to toothpaste consistency and then whack it out. Time lapse. There you go, sorted. It's a shame about that broken tile, but I mean, what can you do, eh? There you go. Just need to get a little bit of doorway trim, and I need to seal a little bit, put that architrave back on, but I'll do that next time. I'm gonna get off now. I need to have a quick tidy up and get back to the barn. But let that be a lesson to you. If you think one tile is loose, there's probably more, and you might open a can of worms just like I did. But it's possible to repair it, bodge it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.